Hey everyone, I'm going to take a look at the England national team pack on eFootball. The reviews for the France and Argentina packs are already live on the channel if you want to check those out. As I mentioned with those reviews, with these packs, it's not about how good a value they represent in general, it's how good a value they represent for you, and that depends on what players you've already got in your squad, what players out of all of these you've already got good versions of, what play styles you use in terms of the manager. So just weigh up all the information that I'm going to give you and have a look at these players and the manager. Just ask yourself whether it's worth you spending your coins on it, because it's not about whether it represents value to anyone else. It's just about you and your situation. So let's have a look at this pack. We'll start with the manager, and it is Southgate, and he's one of the managers who has two play styles with a high proficiency. 86 for quick counter, 87 long ball counter. So again, one of these ones where you got two high proficiencies, but neither of them are quite at the full kind of maximum boost. Both are a little bit short of it, but the fact that you can switch between two play styles will appeal to a lot of people. But obviously it comes down to these play styles. It's whether or not these two play styles appeal to you. If they don't both appeal to you, then you've got to really question whether it's worth getting this manager. But if you do use quick counter and long ball counter, and you like the idea of being able to switch between the two during a match or between matches, it could be a really good manager for you to pick up. Coaching affinity, you get 400% from midfielders. If you do use them for farming, that's obviously good. I think most managers outside of these booster ones only get 300%. And then for the booster, the +1, it's acceleration. So all the players in your squad with this manager will get +1 on their acceleration. So there's your manager. Let's have a look at the players. So we start with our goalkeeper. We've got Jordan Pickford. There's been a bunch of versions of Pickford previously. There have been a couple that were slightly better. They went to 94. This one goes to 93. As you can see, it's kind of similar to the Samba situation with the France pack. Got great reflexes there, but the goalkeeper awareness at 83 for me is not good enough in a 5-star keeper. The reach isn't brilliant. 6'1", so he's just about an okay height for a keeper, but with reach of only 82, that's a bit of a concern as well. If we hit that maximum game plan boost, catching and parrying, as you see, are pretty good, to be fair. But the awareness and the reach are the concerns for me. So can we scrimp a few points from elsewhere and maybe get those up a bit? If we take all those points of jumping, a few off reflexes, what do we get? 10 points. Maybe do that. As you can see, the skills there. Perfect time to mention that, again, eFootball Hub's wrong. Through passing is not one of his skills. He has these 4 skills: low punt, long throw, penalty saver, fighting spirit. He does not have through passing. But yeah, with that slight adjustment I've done to his the way his points are allocated, I think that's a bit better. Still a question mark on his reach. Reflexes are still over 90 though, but we've got his goalkeeper ranks up to 88, and then the catching and parrying are pretty good. Again, like with Samba, is it a bad keeper? No, it's just not an amazing one. Just a bit of a concern over awareness, and obviously the reach is a bit of an issue as well. But outside that, he does have quality, so he might have been an amazing keeper, but he's a solid enough one. If you don't already have a better version of Pickford, and if you want a version of Pickford, it could be a solid keeper to pick up. Now onto our defenders. So we'll start with John Stones. This is a pretty good version of John Stones. There's been 196 rated Stones previously. Outside of that, this is as good a version of him as we've had. First thing to notice, obviously, is defensives here. All 90 plus is great before the game plan boost, and also down the left, all of these over 70 before the game plan boost. That's unusual for a centre back. That's really impressive. He's not the quickest centre back. He's not disastrously slow, but he's not particularly quick either. Kind of okay-ish pace. The jumping's around 85. 6'2". If we look down the skills, he does not have aerial superiority. These skills are accurate, so no errors this time around, but all he's really got defensively, interception, sliding tackle. He needs a bunch of skills. If you're going to get this guy and you plan to use him regularly as a centre back, you're going to need aerial superiority, you're going to need man marking, blocker, maybe acrobatic clearance. So he does need a bunch of skills there quite badly as a centre back. But yeah, we'll activate that boost. So with the maximum available boost, fantastic defensives there. Like I say, the pace is just about okay. The jumping is fairly good, going up to 88. Physical contact, a little bit lacking for me. Again, it's great down the left. We're now up to the 80 mark on low pass. I'd like to scrimp a few points from defending. Again, you can always build these players however you want. This is just what I personally do. But if these are 90 plus, I think that's okay. If that means you can put a few extra points elsewhere. Certainly aerial, I think I'm going to put 2 on there. That gets his jumping up to 90s, headings up to 91, physical 86. 7 points left. We give him a bit more pace. You could put another to an aerial, to be honest. That might not be a bad idea as one option. Or instead of that, you could give him a bunch more pace. 1 point left over. Stick on his passing, I guess. Yeah. Whichever way you train him, you can tweak him this way and that way. But in terms of his attributes, really nice centre-back card. He's a decent size. If you give him aerial superiority, he'll be good in the air. The defence is obviously great. You can make him reasonably quick as a centre-back. Not rapid, but certainly a bit. You can increase that pace a bit by taking some points on the defending. And down the left, like I say, technically he's very nice for a centre-back. The only issue really is the skills. As I mentioned, you do need to give him a bunch of skills to really make him usable as a centre-back. In terms of his other positions, he's got right back, but you can't really make him quick enough to make him a good right back. Just to illustrate that, and we'll just see what eFootball Hub does if we make him a right back. As you can see, I mean, it gives him still really good defensives. If you took all those away, I think he's still just about good enough as a fullback. How quick can you make him? Yeah, not that quick. You could probably get away with him as a defensive right back. If you were putting a defensive instruction on him, just wanting to stay back and defend, he could do a job, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think he's that great as a fullback, and given how good he can be as a centre-back, I think that'd be a bit of a waste. As a defensive mid, he's got that position as well. He's usable, you know. He's actually usable as a defensive mid, as you see there. The defences are fantastic again. It's pretty similar to his centre-back build. They're just kind of, I think basically it just takes a few away from his physicals, and it's given quite a bit on his speed as well, which makes sense because he needs a bit of speed and stamina to play defensive mid as opposed to centre-back. Yeah, he's pretty usable. I wouldn't do a great deal here. I mean, again, I don't think you need that much on defending. You scrimp a few points from there. Free up 9 points from there. What does he really need elsewhere? Stick one on passing, maybe. I'd like a bit of dexterity on him, to be honest. There's one left. I'll just use... The only one we can increase by just one here is shooting, because all the others have gone past 4, but you can always do a sneak one and goalkeeper one. Little trick there. If it's a player like a centre-back, defensive mid, or a striker, you got 1 point left over and all these have gone past 4, you can stick it on goalkeeper one, boost the jumping a bit. So yeah, not bad at all actually, defensive mid. Again, you will need skills on him. Interception's a good one, sliding tackle. It's not as important to give him aerial superiority, man marking, etc. If he's a defensive mid, it would still be nice if he had them. I would first give him one-touch passing, maybe through passing, if you're playing him in that position. But he will need a bunch of skills, just like a centre-back. But like I say, and as you can see there, you can make him a very usable defensive mid. So forget about right back, but there's 2 positions in which this guy could be a very, very good card. But you will need a bunch of skills in either of them. But if you're willing to give him the skills in either of those positions, whichever one you're training for, this could be a very good card to pick up. Now our other centre-back, we've got Big Harry. So first thing to notice, inconsistent form. That sucks a bit, especially in the summer when there's no live update. Also with the skills, he does not have through passing. You will not be surprised to hear that. He has all the rest though. Heading and aerial superiority, man marking, interception, blocker. If you're going to give him skills, I think acrobatic clearance, and maybe sliding tackle. But he's got most of the important ones ready for a centre-back. I think he's pretty well equipped. But yeah, 1 or 2 you might want to add to him. We've had one better version of Maguire previously. I think it was in a Man United pack. Apart from that, this is pretty much as good as we've had in terms of a Harry Maguire card. He's obviously a big physical guy, great physical contact. He's a unit, but the pace is the downside. Those are the 2 real noticeable things with Maguire. Physically, he's supreme, but in terms of his pace and mobility, that's the kind of trade-off. But good defensives. See, the only one below 90 is tackling, but when we go to the game plan boost, all over 90. You can scrimp a few from there. You know what I'm going to do. I want to make him a bit quicker. If you don't mind centre-backs not having pace, that's great. That's up to you, but it's not something I'm personally comfortable with. Could we scrimp a bit from aerial as well? I don't know. I'll probably just leave it there. Stick one on passing, I guess. In fact, if you scrimp 1 from dexterity, you can get his low pass up to 70. That looks quite nice. But yeah, whichever way you do it, if you don't mind the lack of pace, auto allocation is fine. He's a defensive beast, but he's still great defensively here. Even if you take a few points away and put him on his speed, make him a little bit quicker. He's a pretty good centre-back card, to be honest. The inconsistent form does suck a bit. But as a build-up centre-back, yeah, I think that's a good card, to be honest. I'm not personally going to be picking this pack up, but I like the look of this card. Stones as well. You got 2 potentially good centre-back cards. Obviously, there's a skill issue with John Stones, but with Maguire here, apart from the inconsistent form and the fact he's obviously not the quickest or the most manoeuvrable, he got some really good attributes. It's a pretty good version of Maguire, to be honest. So yeah, Could be a pretty usable centre-back card, that. Not bad at all. Now we have Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, got a few positions on Trent. First thing to notice, form, unwavering. So that's good. He's got unwavering form. In terms of his skills, he does have through passing. It's not listed here, but he's got all of these skills and he also has through passing. He's got a nice selection here, depending what position you play him in. So sole control, one-touch pass. He does have through passing, as I say. Weighted pass, low lofted down there. Got pinpoint crossing, of course. Outside curves, a nice one. Defensively, though, acrobatic clearance is all he's got. He does not have interception. On a fullback, I think I always say this, interception is the first skill I look for. I quite like man marking a fullback as well. So yeah, as a fullback, that's how he's been auto-allocated here. That's his registered position. And he's got some qualities. The acceleration is a little bit on the low side for me. I'd like a bit more balance as well. Everywhere else, I think he's fine. If we get that maximum boost, can we scrimp a few points, try and get his acceleration up? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because you would be taking him away from the dribbling and passing, I think, to be honest. Those are the areas where, I mean, you could take 4 off his passing, all 4 of them. A couple off his dribbling. 6 points. Then he gets acceleration up to 80. Yeah, I'd probably do that, to be honest. It's probably worth it, in my opinion. He's got amazing stamina. It'd be a shame to go below 90 on his speed. Kicking power is great at 93, but we have got his acceleration up to 80. He's still absolutely fine down here. I mean, he's fine on the ball. Dribbling could be a bit better. The passing, even if you don't put anything on his passing, at level 1, 84, 88, that's good. Curl 92, and with that kicking power as well, as you'd expect with Trent, he's got a really, really good cross on him. And that's after taking all the 4 points off his passing as well. So yeah, great crossing. Defensively, I'm not sure how realistic that is, but he's very good defensively. So yeah, I'd like a little bit more here, but yeah, ultimately he's good as a right back. It's just the one issue is skills. I think interception is an absolute must if you're going to use him as a right back. Maybe he's man marking. Keep in mind as well, he's not always had this play style. He's a fullback finisher these days. A fullback finisher will go walkabout. They'll go drifting up into the midfield, wanting to get involved in the build-up. That is obviously quite a realistic playing style for him, but in the game, that's something to be mindful of because he will vacate his position. There is that risk that he could get caught out with the opposition playing it in behind him where he should have been when he does go walkabout. So keep that in mind. In terms of his other positions, we'll try him as a right midfielder. As a right midfielder, you don't need to worry about interception. He's got a really nice selection of skills as a right midfielder. The passing, the crossing. So we'll take all these points back from defending and aerial. Thank you. Where are we going to put them? We're going to put a bunch on dribbling first. We'll just put 2 on passing. That leaves us with 8. 2 on dexterity. And we've got 3 points left. Ooh, where do we put them? I think another one on dribbling. And then we've got 1 left. Bit of extra curl. Extra passing. Doesn't really make much difference. Yeah. As a right midfielder, obviously the type of right midfielder who would be is a kind of old school right footer on the right hand side, getting up and down, putting crosses in. He obviously has a through ball as well, an outside curler. So if you want to come inside or outside, whatever way you go, he's got a pass. He can pass it and cross it. He could be a really effective old school right winger. Got that offensive awareness up to 80, bounces up to 80, great stamina, amazing stamina. He's quick. The crossing is going to be absolutely sensational. And on the ball, he's reasonably tidy as well. So yeah, and the defensive ability is a nice bonus as well as a right midfielder. If you play wing backs as well, as a wing back, just like a full back, it's not quite as important, but I still think it's important to give him interception if you play him as a wing back. But in terms of the attributes, he could be brilliant as a wing back. You play a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 as your right wing back, could be fantastic for that. So yeah, you got a couple of uses there down the right hand side. As a centre midfielder, where Gareth Southgate seems to think he's good. Let's just see what eFootball Hub does. The kind of auto allocation. Not bad. My one concern is around here. Does he have the physical contact and the balance in the middle of the park? I'm not personally convinced. Could we take some points away from anywhere? Yeah, we could. We could take a bunch of passing. What would that give us? We'll stick 4 on aerial. And then dexterity 4 on there. Oh, we need 1 more to get balance up to 80. Just nip 1 off dribbling. That'll do it. Oh no, we need another point. No! What do we do? 1 off lower body? There you go. I'll do something along those lines as a centre mid. I think he's pretty decent. I think, again, if you're playing with centre mid, he will not have an active playing style. Likewise, right midfield, I forgot to mention that. He used to be a cross specialist. That playing style would have become active right mid. But as a fullback finisher, will not have an active playing style if he's a right mid, whether he's a wing back or a kind of an orthodox right winger. And likewise, centre midfield, no active playing style. So he'll be quite neutral in terms of his movement, his positioning. And he's a bit of an all-rounder. He's got a bit of everything. But I think as a centre mid, I would put interception on him still. I think that is important. He's got one-touch pass. He's got a load of passing and crossing skills. With interception alongside acrobatic clearance, I think we'd have enough defensively. So he could do a job as a centre mid, I think. So yeah, it might be one where if you pick this pack up, if you've already got a good version of Alexander-Arnold, I think the only better version that we've had is a Showtime one. There might have been a Legend one at some point as well. But apart from that, it's about as good as any version we've had. So yeah, you might already have a good version of him, in which case maybe you train this one for a different position. You have one as a right back, one as a centre mid, something like that. But you've got 3 different uses for him. So yeah, an issue over his skills, whatever position you play him in, maybe needs at least interception, 1 or 2 skills. But in terms of the attributes, could be a really useful card in a bunch of positions. It's a good card, that. Now we have our left back. We've got Ben Chilwell. So we've had a few versions of Chilwell in the past, and they all got to the same as this one. So it's about as good as all the previous ones. So if you've got a previous one, this one's about the same in terms of overall ability. And he's a pretty solid left back, to be honest. I'm just going to go straight to that game plan boost. As you can see, fantastic pace, 98 speed. I'm not sure he's that quick in real life, but yeah, either way, he's got crazy speed, good stamina at 90. And the kicking power, then the acceleration is decent at 85, decent balance, but like a bit more on physical contact if possible. Defensively, not bad. You know, the awareness 76, not too bad. Would like it to be 80, but the rest are all 80 plus. And then down the left here, it's pretty solid, all of these, especially lofted pass 84. You will have pinpoint crossing, I'm sure. Yes, he has pinpoint crossing. These are the skills he has. eFootball Hub is correct with this one. So one touch pass, pinpoint crossing. That's nice when he gets forward. And then defensively, interception, acrobatic clearance, sliding tackle. So pretty nice selection of skills for a fullback. I don't think I'd do a great deal with the way his points have been allocated. I think they're just about what I would do. Maybe I'd nick one off dexterity just to try and nudge his aerial up a little bit. Then we're 1 away from 70 for physical contact. Not sure where else I'd take a point from, to be honest. Could nick one from lower body. Maybe something like that. I don't think it's massively necessary, just nice to hit the 70 mark. But yeah, as a fullback, especially with that crazy speed, I think he's pretty solid, to be honest, and a good section of skills. So this is a very tidy left back. Just to quickly look at left midfield, see if we can play him there. Obviously, we take away the defensives. So what we're going to give him? Three points left. Don't need quite as much lower body as a left wing. I don't know. There's a few ways you could do it. I would maybe just do that, get his lofted pass up to 90. So again, like with Alexander-Arnold, if you're training this guy to play as a left wing, he's going to be a kind of old school left winger, left-footed, whipping good crosses into the box. Get that lofted up to 90, and the kicking power is good at 86. Not a brilliant curl. You could put a bit on his finishing. But yeah, all in all, I don't think he's quite on the level of Alexander-Arnold if you're going to train him for that position, but certainly you could find him very usable there. He's rapid, he's got an amazing cross, those are the important things. He's tidying up on the ball as well. So yeah, very usable as a kind of old school winger. And if you wanted to do a kind of a wing back build, again, before I forget, offensive wing back won't have an active play style if you play him left midfield, so keep that in mind. But yeah, if you wanted him to be a wing back, we'd like a little bit on his defending, obviously, if he's a wing back. Maybe just 4 on there. Stick a few on aerial. Need quite that much for passing. Maybe just do that. You can make him a pretty tidy left wing back as well. So if you're a 3-4-3 guy, a 3-5-2, like wing backs, could be a very good wing back as well. So yeah, similar to Alexander-Arnold. I don't think he's quite as good, but not far off, especially with that speed. He's got really good crossing on him. Got a good selection of skills, especially as a fullback. But fullback, wing back, left midfield, 3 options for this guy. It's a pretty tidy card. Now into the midfield. So we've got Declan Rice, and this is about as good as a version of him that we've had. He's had 1 or 2 play styles before. He's been a destroyer at times. He's now a box to box, and he can play defensive mid or centre mid. He is unwavering form, and as you can see here, albeit we're in the summer now, it's the off season, but when he was playing last season, he had fantastic form. So the form situation is excellent with this guy. Looking at the attributes, you've got two positions you can play him. Again, we've seen a few players like Fofana, for example, that we've been looking at lately, where they can play defensive midfield, but they've got the box-to-box playing style. At defensive mid, they will still get up and down quite a bit. So if you wanted him to play defensive mid and actually stay back and really just defend and protect the defence, I would recommend putting the defensive instruction on him. That will hold him back, stop him from running forward. As a defensive midfielder, that's his registered position. We'll look at him there first with the game plan boost and with the skills as well before we look at all the attributes. The only difference from in-game is through passing. So again, eFootball Hub has this weird obsession lately that everyone has through passing, but he doesn't. He has all these other skills though: first time shot, weighted, low lofted pass. The one big one that Rice is always missing is one touch pass. That's the one skill, first skill that I'll be putting on Declan Rice is one touch pass. But he does a weighted pass, low lofted pass, and then defensively, as you'd expect, man marking, interception. He's got blocker down there, sliding tackle, and then also captaincy and fighting spirit. A couple of nice bonus skills there. So defensively, very strong with the skills. Going forward, really needs one touch pass. It would be nice if he actually had through passing as well. But certainly one touch pass, especially on the guy who's it's a little bit clunky, Rice. He's not the most maneuverable. He's not the most fluid with his movement. So one touch pass, very important on him. But yeah, in terms of the attributes, defensive mid, really strong here down here. Down the left, he's okay as a defensive mid. I'd like a bit more on his passing personally. And then on the right, not the slowest, but like I say, he's just quite a big, heavy guy. You know, the speed's decent, but the acceleration, the balance, he is a little bit hard to maneuver at times. We'll see if we can put a bit on his dexterity, I think. He's got a lot on his defending. If we take a couple off there, and we can put 3 on his dexterity. Would I do much more? Nick 1 off his lower body. Get his dribbling up 1. It'd be nice if we got his passing up as well. Can we get the passing up a bit? A little bit. Yeah, you could play around a number of ways there. If you really wanted to get a bit more passing on, you could scrimp on his defending. You don't need to be 90 plus in all these, but on a defensive mid, if you're 90 plus in all of those, that's really, really, really good. He's going to be very strong defensive, and he's got the skills to back it up as well. So as a defensive midfielder, very, very strong. But obviously, he can play as a centre midfield, box to box as well. So if we went for more of an all-round build, you could take a whole load off here, go down to 4 on defending, leave the 4 on aerial. Lower body, I think, is fine. A bit more on dexterity, especially with that attacking awareness is a little bit low. The dribbling's okay. Passing, yeah, we need more passing. We've got 4 points left. Should we go on dribbling? Should we go dexterity? Stick him on dribbling. As a box-to-box centre midfielder, a bit more of an all-rounder, I would do that. I would absolutely put one touch pass on him, and I'd try and get through passing as well, but I would probably build him something like this, so he's still very strong defensively, bit tidier on the ball, significantly improved his passing, that is significant. And then on the right here, he's a little bit more mobile, a little bit more manoeuvrable with a bit more dexterity. He's still got great stamina. Yeah, you've got a pretty strong all-round centre midfielder, or you could make him a really strong defensive mid as well. 1 or 2 skills are badly needed, but it's a pretty good card in the whole. You might have a version of Rice that's about as good as this already, but if you've not, could be a very good card to pick up. Got 2 roles you could use him in, 2 ways you could train him, and yeah, pretty strong both ways. And now we have Conor Gallagher. So we've only had 1 previous version of Gallagher that was better than this. That was in one of the kind of legend pay-to-win boxes. That went up to 94. This is 93, so this isn't far off the best that we've had. Box to box again. Centre midfielder, can play attacking mid, defensive mid. I don't think you can get his defensive abilities quite high enough to make him a viable defensive mid. I don't think that's worth looking at. We'll have a look at him as an attacking mid, but I think centre mid is definitely where he's going to be best, where he's going to be strongest. Hit that game plan. You see the low pass goes to 91. He's got great passing. He's tidy on the ball. Got a bit of defensive ability, but like I say, not a great deal. Reasonable pace for a centre mid. Not the strongest here. I'd like a bit more physical contact in the middle of the park. Balance, I'd like it to be a little bit better. Stamina is outstanding at 99. He's going to go up and down the pitch. He's never going to get tired. That's fantastic. Looking at the skills, once again, issue with eFootball Hub. So he does not have through passing. He does have long range curler. I think through passing is one you would look to add on this guy. I think that's quite an important one. And also he's got nothing defensively. So again, interception, I think really, really important. If you're playing this guy as a centre midfielder, it's an important skill to have. So through passing and interception are two skills I'd want to put on him. He does have one touch pass already. Heel trick's nice. Fighting spirit, doesn't really need it with his stamina. Yeah, a couple of skills you need on this guy, but in terms of the attributes, matchman game plan there. You can nick one of passing, still at 90 low pass. Give him a bit more defensibility, or rather aerial I think is more important. You can nick one from lower body, still at 80 for speed. That's just about the mark where he hits 99 stamina as well. We'll leave that there. Physical now up to 70. Could we do much more? I'm not sure we can really. It would be nice if we got his balance up to 80, but there's not really anyone I'd want to take those points away. I like his passing be at the 90 mark. You could afford to lose a few from passing, to be fair. If you did that, you can get his balance up to 80. He gets tight possession up to 90 if you really want to. I'm not sure that's really necessary. 4 points, where we put them? I'll put him on defending, actually. I'll maybe do something like that. It's a bit of a shame to lose some of his passing, to be honest. I think maybe I'll prefer to leave the points on his passing rather than improving his defending, but there's different ways you could do it. He's a solid all-rounder. I don't think he's amazing. He needs 1 or 2 skills, even with the skills. Good, yes. Amazing, no. Just a kind of decent, usable centre mid. And like I say, as an attacking mid, you could try training him for that. Take those points away from defending and aerial. He will be playing without an active playing style because box-to-box is not active at attacking midfield. We would get his passing up to 90 for a start if you're playing him as an AMF. 1 more dexterity, gets him 80 attacking awareness. We've got 1 point left. Where are we going to stick that? Shooting. And now annoyingly we're 1 away from 70 for shooting. Could we nick a point from somewhere else? Nick one from there. Get his shooting up to the 70 mark. We've still got 1 point left to stick at an aerial. Yeah, I'll do something like that. He's usable there. With the attacking awareness at 80. Tidy enough on the ball. Not amazing, but pretty tidy. Great passing. Got that finishing up to 70 at least. He's got reasonable pace and mobility. And again, the stamina's outstanding. You could use him attacking mid. I'm not sure it'd be worthwhile. I'm not sure many people would look at this guy and think they, he'd be a great option at attacking midfield. I think most of us have got more exciting options in that part of the pitch. But certainly that's something you could do. But yeah, as a centre midfield, that's probably where he's strongest. And not an amazing one, but certainly a solid one, very usable. And now we have Jude. So this version of Jude Bellingham goes to 98. I think the only one we've had before that gets as high rated as that is I think it was a Showtime one. So this is a good version of Jude Bellingham. Whole player as well. He's been a box to box on a lot of his previous cards. He's had a couple of player of the week whole players, but you can't train the player of the week ones. So this is a whole player that's a very high rated one, and it can be trained, which I think for a lot of people could be interesting. You could actually train him to play as an SS, which is kind of the role that he's played a lot for Real Madrid, and he'd have an active play style there. Could be interesting there, but certainly centre mid and attacking mid. Whole player will be his active playing style in both those positions as well. Looking at his attributes, let's go straight to that game plan. Getting fully boosted, as you can see, great on the ball, great passing, finishing is good as well for a midfielder. Attacking modes for 89 is really good for a midfielder. He's got a bit of defensive ability as well. And over on the right here, I think his physical contact deserves to be higher than that, to be honest, based on what he's like in real life. But great balance, great stamina. Got decent pace for a midfielder, kicking power as well. He's got unwavering form, which is great. And down here, looking at the skills, the only change here is, again, he does not have through passing. That's an error. So that's the one skill I'd want to give him, to be honest. That's the first skill I'd want to give him if I get this card. And if I train him up and I plan to use him, through passing is the #1 skill I want to put on him as a very offensive nature midfielder. Through passing #1, maybe his long range shooting after that, but certainly through passing he needs. But he does have 1 touch pass, got first time shot as well. Soul control is nice, a couple of skill moves for the dribblers, interception as well. That's a good one. So if you do play him in the middle of the park as a centre mid, with the whole player playing style, I would want 1 or 2 midfielders doing the defensive work behind him, but he can get stuck in. He's got interception. If you're going to play him that way, personally, I would nick a couple from there, nick 1 from there, and I would just nudge his defensives up a bit. In fact, he put 4 points in there, and then he got 4 left. I'll probably do that. As a centre midfielder, I'll do that. So now we've got his physical contact up to 80, which is great. Bit more on his defensive, so his engagement's up to 80. He's still got a bunch of 90 plus attributes down the left. He's still great technically, still great attacking awareness. But if he's a centre midfielder, doing a bit of defensive work as well, got interception, could be a really, really good all-round midfielder, but obviously getting forward a lot with the whole player playing style and with a lot of ability going forward. As an attacking midfielder, if you wanted to play him as an out-and-out attacking midfielder, abandon the defending. Aerial strength not so important anymore. We've only freed up 8 points there, but I mean, there's a bunch of things you could do. He gets attacking awareness up to 90 there. Still 5 points left. Where are we going to put them? You've got options. You could get 2 more on his lower body, and then 1 point left over, stick it on his aerial. I think as an attacking mid, I'd probably do that, something like that. As an attacking midfielder, 90 attacking awareness is outstanding. You do not get many attacking midfielders with 90 attacking awareness. Obviously, some of the legend cards you pick up do, but this isn't a legend card. I think that's outstanding. Very good on the ball. Very nice passing. Like I say, especially as an attacking midfielder, through passing skill, very important. Try and give him through passing if you can get this card and use it a lot. Finishing for 85, again, for an attacking midfielder, that's good. He's got a little bit of heading ability. He's 6'1", so doesn't have aerial superiority or heading down here, but I mean, you could give him to him if you really wanted to. Not sure it's really worth it, but he's got a bit of heading and jumping and physical, not a great deal. The bounce up to 90, stamina 91, still got decent pace on him, good kicking power. This is a really good card. He's big, he's strong, he's maneuverable, he's technically sound, he's got end product. Centre mid or attacking mid, this is a really, really good version of Jude Bellingham. So yeah, if you want a good version of Jude Bellingham, you don't have a good version already. If you do pick this pack up, I think this would be a really, really good card, and I think it's probably not a great surprise that I think this is the pick of the pack. And that's coming from a Newcastle fan who's about to review the Anthony Gordon card. But yeah, this is a good card as well, Anthony Gordon. We've had one version of Gordon went to 94, the rest have been 93, so it's near enough on a par with the previous versions. You can play him out wide or attacking mid. You can't make his passing good enough to make him an attacking mid. Bit frustrating, but wide left or wide right, he's just one of these wingers where it's pace and dribbling really, and then you're just wondering, does he have the end product? If we hit the game plan boost, as you see, we do get up to 80 for finishing, and the attacking awareness is good. Like I say, on the ball he's great. He's got really good dribbling, great pace, but the passing, whether it's a low pass or a cross, he doesn't have great passing. So you're going to have to be careful with his passing. Make sure you don't ask too much of him. In terms of the way his points are allocated, I wouldn't do a great deal. It would be nice to maybe get one more in balance, to be honest. I'm not sure where you get the points for. I think probably just lower body and dexterity with it. Well, not dexterity because we need to improve that. So lower body, I guess. So if we go to lower body, if we take 4 off that, we're still at 80 for kicking power, and we're over 90 for speed. You can nudge his dexterity up 1, so we get to 80 for balance, and then stick a couple on his passing. I think would be sensible. And you got 1 point left. Stick that in aerial, 1 up. I would probably do that. It's only a minor tweak to the way his points have been auto allocated, but I personally think that'd be worthwhile. But yeah, either way, like I say, it's only a minor tweak. But you can see what he's good at. He's got the pace, he's got the dribbling, he's got a finish on him. I think playing on the right probably wouldn't be worthwhile. If you look at the skills down here, he doesn't have outside curler. The only skills that are wrong here, in fact, none of these are wrong. He's got all these skills, but he also has through passing and long range shooting. So one touch pass, through passing, that will make up for his passing being a bit shitty. Pinpoint crossing likewise will make up for his lofted pass being a bit shitty, but still, he's not going to have great passing or crossing even with those skills. Long range drive and long range shooting though, along with 80 finishing, he's got a shot on him. He'll score goals for you. Soul control as well is a nice one. So yeah, be careful with his passing. I don't think on the right hand side as a right footer he's going to have good enough crossing to be a decent right winger, and he doesn't have outside curler, so he's a little bit limited on the right for me. Passing nowhere near good enough to be attacking mid. I think this guy's very much an out and out inverted winger, playing on the left, cutting onto his right side, and doing that with the pace, with the dribbling, with good awareness as well, getting into good positions, and with the finishing and his shooting skills, he could be an effective one. He could get some goals for you. So don't think it's an amazing card. I'd like his passing to be better. I'd love to say it's better than it is as a Newcastle fan because I love the guy in real life, but yeah, not amazing. Slight issue with the passing and the crossing, but outside of that, there are qualities there. If you like players who are quick and are good on the ball, and he can certainly score goals for you, it could be a tidy card to have. And now we have Mr. Foden. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, the highest rated Phil Foden we've had on eFootball. So this is a really good version of Phil Foden. Positionally as well. He's not always had all these positions, but as you can see here, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 positions he can play. So this is going to be interesting training him. I've always wanted a right midfield version of Foden to play as an inverted winger. So this is tempting to me, but I'm not a huge fan of the creative playmaker playing style. I want a whole player version who can play right midfield. As a creative playmaker, It's not a bad playing style, it's just personal preference. But a creative playmaker won't be quite so aggressive with their forward runs. They'll hang back a bit. They'll want to kind of get on the ball and stay deep and have people making runs ahead of them. So just comes down to personal preference. But yeah, creative playmaker will be active play style in all of his positions except for centre forward. Where do we start? Start with the game plan boost and also the skills. We'll just get that out of the way. Only thing that's wrong here is that he's got through passing. So double touch, cut behind, weighted and low lofted and nice, but he's also got one touch pass and through passing. So he's all about the passing, this Phil Foden card. If you're going to play him in attacking positions, might be worth giving him first time shot, long range curler, long range shooting, some of those skills. But yeah, there's a bunch of different ways you can use this guy. He's clearly got fantastic attributes on the ball. He's got good attacking awareness. The passing is not amazing. He's got all the passing skills to back that up, but it'll be nice to really increase his passing skills if we can. Finishing 81 is pretty decent. Depends where you play him. Pretty good pace, great balance, good stamina. Kicking power is good at 88. So yeah, first things first, let's look at him as a midfielder. I would not consider him as a centre mid because he can't defend to save his life. He's small, he's weak, he can't defend, no defensive skills. Forget centre mid, not happening. But if he's going to be a playmaker, either through the middle, attacking mid SS, or maybe as a kind of wide playmaker, I would nick some of these points off dribbling. I know some people hate me for that, but we've got to get the passing up. So how high can we get the passing? I'd maybe just do that, to be honest. Just literally take those points off dribbling, put more straight on passing. Shame we're just shy of the 90 mark, to be honest, but something like that I think personally would be worth doing because he's still great on the ball. With that low centre of gravity at 171, those great attributes on the ball, the balance as well, good pace. He's going to feel really nice on the ball. And getting his passing that high with all the passing skills he's got with one touch pass, through passing, low lofted and weighted pass. His passing can be really nice now. So you play him through the middle as a kind of attacking mid or an SS as that kind of number 10 behind the attack playmaking. Could be really, really effective. Out wide, if you wanted to make him a bit quicker, you could take some of those points back from passing. It's not quite as important if he's playing out wide. How quick can we make him? Pretty quick. So you just shove them all straight onto lower body and then boom. Speed, acceleration, kicking power, balance and stamina all over 90. On the ball, still over 90 on all three of those. Passing not as great now, but it's not as important out wide. I don't think I'd want to use him wide left. You could give him pinpoint crossing, but I don't think his crossing would be great if you did that. I don't think it's really worth it. A bit of a waste for me. I think I'd rather have this guy through the middle or on the right. If he is on the right, as I mentioned earlier, long range curler, long range shooting, first time shot. Some of those skills might be worth putting on him or all of them. This is a really good card. It's one of those cards where he's that good. It's probably worth trying to, using the skill trainers and maybe the GP if you do it that way to get him the skills that you want, because he's going to be a card you probably use quite a bit. But yeah, I think I'd build him roughly like that to play out wide, and he could be fantastic. He looks like he's going to be really nice on the ball, quick, manoeuvrable, bit of end product, lovely. So yeah, the only other way to train him, we could see if we can use him as a striker. We might as well have a look. He's got that position, so take some of these points back. Finishing first needs to go up a bit. It's a shame to go below 90 on these kind of dribbling ones, but I've got to see how good we can make him as a striker, haven't we? We can make him pretty decent. Is it worth training him as a centre forward? I mean, you could take even more away from his pace and his technicals to get his awareness and finishing up higher. I'm not sure I'd want to. Depends how you want to use him. I think ultimately, if you gave him first time shot, you could get away with him as a striker. It'd be a very neat kind of technical striker. He's got not just the pace and everything, but good kicking power as well. With first time shot, he might be an interesting one as a striker, to be honest, but yeah, I'm not so sure. I think with how good he can be through the middle as a playmaker or playing him out wide on the right hand side, the attributes he has when you train him those two ways, I think it'd be a waste to make him a striker. You've got the option. If you gave him the relevant skills, certainly first time shot, you can make him a very interesting centre forward for sure. But yeah, I think this guy at his best through the middle or on the right, it's a really, really, really good card. It's an excellent card. I did say Bellingham's my pick from the pack, but this guy's right up there with him. I think with Bellingham and Foden, there's two cards in this pack that I think are absolutely fantastic. And we finish up with our centre forward, and we got Ollie Watkins. So we've got a goal poacher. We've had a couple of versions of him before that go to 94. It's on a par with the best versions we've had previously. I would not train this guy to play wide left. I don't think you can make him good enough technically. Certainly wouldn't play him on the right either. He can't cross to save his life. But this guy's very much a centre forward with the goal poacher playing style. He's got unwavering form. And if we scroll down here for the look at the skills, he has got He's not got long range curler, that's an error. But he does have long range shooting, and he has scissors feint. And he's got the rest of these skills here. Aerial surprise is a nice one, but he doesn't have heading. And you may have noticed already, but as a centre forward, there's one skill you're going to be looking for, and he doesn't have it. That is first time shot. So again, you're going to get this guy, you're going to use him as a centre forward, give him first time shot. Very, very, very important. But if you do that, you could have a decent strike on your hands. I don't think it's amazing. I mean, 94 rated, looks like he's going to be good. Goal poacher, he does have the pace. I do complain when we get these kind of player of the week and player of the month strikers who are goal poachers but don't have much pace, because that frustrates me. It kind of ruins him. But with this guy, goal poacher, 90 speed, 85 acceleration, 90 attacking awareness, 85 finishing. I'd like the finishing to be a bit higher. We'll look at that in a second. That's before the game plan boost. We'll hit that game plan boost. So yeah, like I say, you could quite easily nick a few from dexterity there and then get that finishing straight up to 90. You've got 3 points left. I'd like to get his technicals up a little bit higher, make him a bit more comfortable on the ball, but I'm not sure where the points come from. Actually, yeah, that's where the points come from. I'll probably do... maybe I'll do that. I think I'll probably do something like that. So he made him a bit more comfortable on the ball. Got that low pass up to 70. I think people sometimes underappreciate how important low passes in a striker. You do pass the ball with your striker quite a bit. Even if they're short, simple passes. It's very easy to give the ball away if your passing is not high enough in a striker. So I do think it's worth putting a few points on passing on a striker if you can. But yeah, as we've just trained him here, attacking where it's 90. Now the finishing's up to 90. The speed's at 90. Still got decent acceleration. Got a bit of kicking power. He's got aerial superiority. He's got good jumping. He's about 5'10", 5'11", so he's not going to be dominant in the air, but he will win a few headers. Might be worth putting heading on him, because if he is going to get on the end of a few crosses here and there, heading might be worthwhile. Certainly first time shot will be the first one to put on him though. But yeah, a bit of balance there and good stamina as well for a centre forward. So yeah, on the whole, I don't think this is an amazing card. I don't think it's certainly not an elite centre forward by any means, but if you gave him the skills that he needs, and that is primarily first time shot and arguably heading, maybe a long range curler, which he doesn't have. That's an error, as I mentioned. But yeah, he does have some qualities. The pace, the awareness, the finishing. He's got the most important things to go with his playing style to make him an effective goal poacher. Pretty good centre forward. I would like him to be a bit better on the ball. But yeah, apart from that, it's just the skills really. But if you do give him the skills, he could be a useful centre forward. It's not an amazing one, but certainly not a bad one either. Pretty good card, that. So there you go. That is the England pack. Again, I've said this with the previous two packs. I'll keep saying it. It's not about how good value it is. No one can tell you whether you should or shouldn't get it. It's down to you. Which players have you got in your squad already? Have you got a lot of players in any of these positions already? In which case you might not need some of these cards. Have you already got a good version of some of these cards? In which case, again, you might not need them. You might have a good version of Rice, so you might not need Rice. Likewise, any of these players. But looking at it objectively, there's some good cards in there. I think there's some very usable cards. I think the pick of the pack has got to be Foden and Bellingham. You've got two fantastic cards in there. Really good versions of those two players. Rice is a strong card. You've got two fullbacks in Alexander-Arnold and Chilwell, who are very usable. I think the centre-backs, if you go Stones the skills, with the right skills, that could be a really nice centre-back card. Harry Maguire is a pretty usable centre-back. And then you just really got Pickford, Watkins, Gordon and Gallagher. Those four cards for me aren't particularly exciting. They're not bad cards by any means, but they're just not cards I'll be too excited about, and I don't think I'll be clamoring to spend coins getting them. And then it's down to the manager. His play styles. Are they play styles that you use? If they're two play styles that you'd like to use and be able to switch between during matches and in between matches, he could be a fantastic manager for you to pick up. So yeah, just ask yourself, how much value are you going to get? What is this pack going to bring to your squad? If there's a lot in here for your squad that will give you a lot of value, for 900 coins, obviously it's cheaper than the two with legends in, it might be a bargain for you. Just depends on your situation, but certainly looking at it on the face of it, if it suits you with the manager, and if you don't have good versions of some of these cards, especially Bellingham and Foden, it could potentially be a really, really good value pack, that. So yeah, for 900 coins, potentially great pack. As I mentioned, France and Argentina pack reviews already live on the channel. Do check those out if you're interested. And we've got 3 more reviews coming: Portugal, Brazil and Turkey. I'll be reviewing those packs as well, so they should be coming up over the course of the next few days or the next week. Pretty busy in the next couple of days, so there might not be any videos going out in the next couple of days, but I'll do my best. But yeah, 3 more to come. So hopefully you found this one useful. Hopefully it's helped you to decide if you want to pick this pack up. Thank you for watching as always. I do appreciate it.
I will see you next time.